Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome along to my Dubai World Cup night preview. Obviously, that is on this Saturday as well. This Saturday coming, and it supports a wonderful, good, useful flat turf card at Doncaster, which is obviously headed by the Unibet Lincoln, obviously. But the Dubai World Cup also takes centre stage in the evening. I've picked out 4 races, the 4 good races that I think will be the most significant ones, all with very good horses in it and some wonderful talent out on display at Meydan on Saturday evening. I'm going to kick things off with the Dubai Gold Cup, which is a stayers race over 2 miles, solid 2 miles around Meydan's course. Favourite for this is the Melbourne Cup winner for Godolphin, Cross Counter. Ispolini 5-2 as well for Godolphin as well. Called the win for France 11-4. Charlie Fellows is Prince of Arran for the UK at 16-1. Gold Mount 18-1 for Richard Gibson, and it's bigger and it's 20-1 bar the rest. Looks as though it's going to be really a 3-horse race, I think, between Cross Counter, Ispolini and Call the Wind. Looking at this, I do think the favourite will go and win this one. Don't like tipping favourites too much, but Cross Counter for me should win this. Won the very competitive Melbourne Cup at Flemington very, very nicely, didn't he, for Godolphin? And he should really go and follow up here. Maybe use this as a stepping stone to try and maybe take on Stradivarius, maybe in the stand division over here, maybe in the summer. Stradivarius has been tipped again to complete the triple header, the triple crown of staying races as well, the Goodwood Cup, the Ascot Gold Cup, and also the Yorkshire Cup as well at York's Ebor meeting as well. So he's definitely tipped to go and complete that again. But if Cross Counter goes and wins well here, he's definitely with a chance of causing a big hurdle for Stradivarius to try and step over during the flat season. I reckon Prince of Arran could get run into a place. Again, a fantastic course for Charlie Fellows, the flag bearer of his yard. 3rd in the Melbourne Cup. Won the Lexus Stakes as well over in Australia as well while he was down there during their spring carnival this year, last year, sorry. And I definitely think he'll win a big price at 16-1. Asheen Murphy booked to ride. It's a nice, good jockey book in there, and I think at 16-1 he might sneak into a place. Moving into the Alquad Sprint over the Flying 5 here. Looks as again just a one-sided race, doesn't it? Blue Point, the Kingstown winner at Royal Ascot, tops betting at 1-2, best priced. Richard Fahey's champion sprint day winner, Sands of Mali at 8-1, Stormy Liberal at 10-1, Vidora 12s, Wishful Thinker 12s, Brave Smash 14s, and it's 16-1 bar the rest in that race there. And you can't really look further than Blue Point here, being campaigned in Dubai all winter, won a couple of nice little sprints in building up to this race, building up to the Alquad Sprint here. And I think he's going to take all the beating here. I was at Ascot when he won the King's Stand, when he beat Batash very nicely on that day. Impressive run from him that day. Definitely think he can bounce back again, make it 3 wins from 3 in Dubai over the winter, and I think he'll win this race quite comfortably. I mean, looking down the field for some value, Sands of Mali at 8-1's a nice price for the Champions Day sprint winner. But you might want a bit more of a softer surface, which he won on at Ascot in October. And I'm not too sure if they're going to be probably on the bit too much of the fast side for him, maybe, to prevail in this. But Richard Fahey thinks a lot of the horse, and he's definitely going to have a good future ahead of him. I just don't think he's going to, against a seasoned campaigner like Blue Point, who's been there, done it, got the t-shirt in many big races this season. I don't think he'll pose much of a threat, and I think Blue Point should win this race quite comfortably. I mean, looking down the field, horses like Wishful Thinker at 12s, Brave Smash, Stormy Liberal, they won't pose much of a threat to Blue Point, and I think at 1-2, yeah, the market really gives them much more judgment, and I think he should run this race quite easily. Moving into the Dubai turf, we've got some very nice horses on display in this race, led by the Japan Cup winner, the Japanese hope of this race, Almond Eye, who's been rumoured to maybe coming over to York in August to take on an Able in the Yorkshire Oaks, maybe. What a race that could be if he takes her, if they take each other on. 2 of the mares leading the way in Europe, that'd be a mouth-watering clash, wouldn't it, at the Ebor Festival. As I said, Almond Eye leads the way in the market at 5-4 for Christophe Lemaire in Japan. Dream Castle for Godolphin at 7-2. Wootton again for Godolphin at 8. I Can Fly at 12 for Ballydoyle, and it's 16-1 bar those. I mean, this is a tight race, and Almond Eye is a very classy horse, as we've seen. Absolutely imperious in Japan at the moment, winning race after race. Japan Cup, she won very nicely under Christophe Lemaire. Smooth headway into the straight and pulled away from her field with the class you'd expect. In Japan, they don't take horses across Europe unless they don't think they've got a good chance. Look at horses like Orfèvre, people like that, horses like that as well, who have done very well in Europe before. And I definitely think this horse take all the beating here. Looking down the field, Dream Castle 7-2. I Can Fly, good value at 12s, but I think they're all, again, similar to the Alquad Sprint, all competing for places here. And I don't like sitting on favourites too much, but look at Almond Eye, and I think she's a good horse on her day. And I think she'll win this race quite well for Japan. And she'll be campaigned hopefully towards a stint in Europe this year, taking on an Able, which would be a fantastic thing to see. And I think Almond Eye will win this race. And I think Wootton will come into place, and probably I Can Fly as well. Moving into the final big preview race of the night, the big one, of course, the big bonanza, the Dubai World Cup. Again, quite an open race this time, quite a tight, compact race here, led by North America 3-1 for Richard Mullen, who looks like he's going to take the ride on that. Capozano 9-2 there, joint with Thunder Snow at 9-2 and Seeking of the Soul at 9-2. 3 joint second favourites at 9-2 across there. Capozano, Thunder Snow for Godolphin, last year's winner, and also Seeking the Soul was what, 9-2. Yoshida for America at 7-1. Gunnevera 12-1. Audible 12-1, and it's 25-1 bigger the rest there. Looking at this race to be a tough race. Obviously North America's done well this season in Meydan, and a couple of nice races there. Looks them one to beat, doesn't he? He's a nice older horse. Richard Mullen will be booked to ride. He knows Dubai quite well. A well-seasoned jockey out there is Richard Mullen, and it's a very significant jockey book in there. I think 3's is a nice price for him there. Obviously the 3 all joined at 9-2. Capozano, Thunder Snow, Seeking the Soul. Obviously talking about Thunder Snow, won last year for Christophe Soumillon, for Godolphin as well. Looking to try and repeat that again this year. I think he's got a great chance, given a great ride last year off the front end by Christophe Soumillon. And he's looking to try and bounce him out early over the mile too, try and get him into a nice rhythm early on, try and kick on up the straight and try and win. And I think he's got a great chance doing that. But looking at this race, it's such a tight race. Obviously Yoshida as well for America. If I remember correctly, running the Queen Anne behind Accidental Agent when I was there. And I think he's an interesting one at 7-1. Be stepped up from a mile to a mile 2. Whether or not he'll stay or not remains to be unknown. But for me, I'm going to look at this race, and I think at 9-2, you can't help but not look at Thunder Snow. Been there, done it before. Good course form. Looks the real main threat to North America. I think it's going to take all the beat in this race. But I think if one could beat him, I think if Soumillon could bounce out Thunder Snow out of the gate nicely on the front end and dictate the pace, I think he'll be a very hard horse to catch, and I think he'll go and win this race quite well in the end. Be a tight race, but Thunder Snow for me at 9-2 will win this race. If you did enjoy that, guys, hit the thumbs up, comment as well, all the good stuff. Comment who you think will win all these races. It's a lovely card at Meydan on Saturday evening to go alongside the Lincoln card at Doncaster on Saturday. If you enjoyed it though, like, comment, subscribe as well, and we see you all for the next preview very soon. Take care, bye bye.